out. Look out. Alright, so this is going to be the third time I've tried to do this. I tried my phone first, and the battery died. Then I tried my iPad, and I didn't have any memory. But apparently my mother cannot get the email of my latest story, so I'm just going to read it and send it to her that way. Because I think it's a pretty amazing story. Not that it's amazing writing, but amazing story, at least in my mind. But this is called, It's Not the Gift in the Box, It's the Wrapping Paper That Secured Its Delivery. Every once in a while, an idea pops in my head or some event occurs that prompts me into writing mode. It's usually because I think I've seen or believed something others have missed, and it is my nature to explain my point of view so they can see the not so obvious miracle. Anyone who reads my ramblings knows that a lot of my stories and observations revolve around the events that have occurred with my dogs. Alas, this is yet another dog story. Excuse me. The other day I was at work having another miserable day on the art job. I came in to find out that the brass detail work I had installed on the fireplace was in the wrong place due to my misunderstanding of verbal directions, or more likely a change of mind by the designer. Either way, everything I had done the day before would have to come down and be reinstalled. I was not a happy camper. So as I'm dismantling my artwork, I receive a phone call. Anyone who knows me knows how much I love phone calls. But this one had a local area code, so still prepared to tell someone what they could do with their car warranty, I begrudgingly answered. Hello? Hey, I'm a teacher at Bon Air School, and while my kids were at recess, I just caught your dog walking down the middle of Buford Road. Can you come pick her up? Shit, I said. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, but I'm about 30 minutes away. Can you secure her that long? Well, I've got her in a fenced-in play area, but another class is coming out in 30 minutes, and I'll have to put her out. Okay, I'm on my way right now. My day just got a little worse. I dropped everything I was doing, ran to my truck, and floored it. I'm not sure how many laws I broke, but I made the 30-minute drive in just over 22 minutes. And I'm speeding when I make it 30. So I pulled up to the school playground, and there was Trixie, hamming it up with 20 or so preschoolers reaching through the fence petting her. When she saw my truck, she left her loving mob and ran to my side of the fence. I walked around the front of my truck and was greeted by the teacher who had called. I can tell by her tail, you must be the owner, she said. Yes, ma'am, that's me. I'm sorry for the inconvenience. I really appreciate you catching her. Oh, it's no problem. I'm just glad you got here so quickly. My second class was released early, and I'm not sure how much longer I could keep them out of the playground. Well, I can't thank you enough. I don't know how she got out. I guess her shock collar isn't working. I don't know, but it's a miracle she wasn't hit by a car. She was just strolling down Buford like she owned it. Thanks again, I said. Let's see. As I was walking Trixie back to the truck, I was thinking how amazing it was she didn't get hit. Anyway, it's 1 p.m. My day is shot. I'm not driving back to the job. Plus, I'm not sure my other two dogs haven't escaped as well. But when I got to the truck, Trixie led me the long way around the back instead of the front. It was then that I had an oh shit moment. My tailgate was down, and my $400 miter saw was no longer in the back. God damn it, I yelled in front of 20 preschoolers. Get in the truck, Trixie. Between gas, lost wages, and now a miter saw, your little stroll has cost me $1,000. I was fuming. I was going to have to retrace my path on the off chance that my saw might be in a ditch, wasn't in 1,000 pieces, and hadn't been picked up by some contractor. Meanwhile, Trixie curled up in a ball and went to sleep like her job was done. I cruised by the house to check on the other two dogs. Woodrow and Clovis were both asleep in the treehouse. I floored it. 19 minutes later, I was back at the job site. No saw, no debris, no nothing. The only thing I got from my search was a headache and a sprained neck from looking in ditches. I was pissed off, depressed, and demoralized all at the same time. The only thing to do now is go home and have a scotch or two, or four. 35 minutes later, I had glass in hand. Then another phone call, this time on the landline. Jesus fucking Christ, can't a guy have his scotch in peace? God damn it. That's exactly what I said. I looked at the caller ID and it was a local area code, so I reluctantly answered, hoping and praying I could tell someone what they could do with their low interest loan. Hello? Hey, is this Kevin Baker? I immediately think I have another dog out. Yes, it is. By any chance, are you missing a saw? I couldn't believe my ears. Yes, I did lose a saw. Can you describe it so I know I'm returning it to the right person? Yes, it's a green Motivo sliding compound miter saw with the Bonaire Craftsman carved into the table. Yep, that's it. My name is Kayla, and I own Fine Creek Equestrian. I was headed to Tractor Supply at lunch, and when I pulled out, there was this saw sitting in my driveway. I was so excited because I've been wanting a saw like that. But then I saw the name and figured I better do the right thing. I can text you directions if you want to come pick it up. It looks like an expensive saw. It is, I said, and I know right where you are. My daughter used to ride horses there, and it's right across the street from my job site. Well, cool, come on and get it. It's a miracle someone else didn't pick it up. I said it's a miracle it's not 1,000 pieces. I'll be there in 30 minutes. 24 minutes later, I was in her driveway. When I got out of the truck, I was greeted by two blue heeler dogs. One looked like Otzi, and the other looked like Clovis. What a coincidence. Anyway, I heard this voice. Hey, I'm over here. I quit petting the dogs and turned toward the voice. There, almost like out of some movie scene, strolling around the corner of the barn was this tall, beautiful, sparkling young woman. Hey, I'm Kayla, she said with a brilliant smile and twinkling eyes. She just bubbled with friendliness and happiness. Your saw's over here in the back. Your saw's over here in my truck. Come on. I was dumbfounded and speechless. I guess in my mind, having known a few female Powhatan horse owners, I was expecting some gruff, durable, haggard, middle-aged woman, especially on a farm this size. This was no middle-aged woman, and her joyful, happy demeanor was disarming and intoxicating. We walked away to the back of her truck, and there was my saw. I can't believe it. It hardly has a scratch on it, I said. Yeah, thought I had me a new saw, but you got to do the right thing, she responded. I ain't tried to plug it in or nothing, but I think it still works. Got a little crack here on the handle, she exclaimed, smiling from ear to ear. Just about that time, I caught a glance of 4 or 5 deer grazing in the back field. Hey, look, you got a bunch of deer in your field. Oh yeah, they're always there. I got me a nice buck out of that field last year. Here, let me show you. She produced her phone and started showing me pictures. He looked bigger in the scope, but I'm happy with him, she said. Yeah, I replied, they always seem to suffer from ground shrinkage when they hit the ground. I know, right? She laughed. Oh, look, here's a little fawn I raised, she said, smiling as she scrolled through memories. Just walked up one day and followed me around. It's easy to see why any creature would follow this woman around. Just her mere presence puts you at ease and makes you happy and relaxed. Well, she said, you want me to help you carry this beast to your truck? That damn thing's heavy. She never stopped smiling. Oh no, I said, I've got it. I really appreciate this and your honesty, and I'd like to give you a little something in exchange for all you've done for me. She just smiled and glistened with wonder and anticipation. It's just a little birdhouse I made out of cedar bark. It's not a miter saw, but I hope you like it. As I handed her the birdhouse, this kind, loving, happy, bubbly young woman melted before my eyes into a crying little girl. She sobbed uncontrollably, sniffling and wiping tears, unable to speak, like I'm getting ready to be. Hey, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to make you cry. Here, you can keep the saw. What have I done to this poor woman? I wanted to give her a hug, but I just met her. I almost started to cry myself. Please, what can I do? She started to compose herself, but still crying, she said, I'm so sorry, I'm not usually this emotional. It's just today, this day, is the anniversary of my mother's death, and she collected birdhouses. She took the birdhouse, wiped her eyes, gave a big smile, and said, thank you so much. There will always be skeptics, atheists, and non-believers. I myself am not even sure of what my own belief system is. But I can tell you this for certain. That day, that moment when I handed Kayla the birdhouse, and I realized all the things that had to happen perfectly to make that one moment in time occur. I know there's a greater power at work. You can call it God, you can call it spirits, or you can call it karma. But you can't call what happened to Kayla and myself a coincidence. Just go through the list of everything that had to happen. All the so-called coincidences. Let's start with the miter saw. 2 years ago, when I mounted that saw on a wooden table, I carved the binary craftsman as an advertisement of skill, not for loss or theft. And why did I go out of my way to put the saw in the truck that morning? I already had 2 on site. Then consider this. When I got the call about Trixie, it was a miracle that I even answered the phone of an unknown number. Second, I left that job like a bat out of hell. That driveway is a mile long, twisting, hilly, pothole mess. How is it that that saw stays in my truck for a mile long construction driveway and then conveniently falls out on a paved highway into the driveway of an honest woman looking for a saw? And then you have to take into account that I got the phone call at noon. Excuse me. Every contractor in a 5-mile radius is headed down Robius Road to eat lunch at Lucky's. I'd say at least one vehicle every 30 seconds. 30 seconds. That's the window of time we had to make this whole event work. If I had driven normal speed down the driveway, Kayla would have beat me onto Robius on her way to Tractor Supply. I had to be in front of her, and she had to be 30 seconds behind me. Otherwise, someone else would have had a new saw or be receiving a meaningless birdhouse. Then there's the issue of Trixie. What makes a 10-year-old overweight deerhound with a bum shoulder, bad hips, no front teeth decide to chew her way through a weld wire cattle fence, break the boards of a picket fence, all the while getting electrocuted, and then stroll down the middle of Buford Road and not get hit? I mean, usually she gets out, she goes to the neighbors to try and kill a chicken, or down the tracks to get to the woods. Why did my other 2 dogs follow her out? Why did my other 2 dogs follow out the hole in the fence? Just luck? I think not. I think there's something much more powerful, much more miraculous at work on this day and every day. I think most of us see what we want to see and believe what we want to believe and close our minds and hearts to the miracles that are happening all around us. I once wrote, "Things are not always what they seem, and grace often hides in the commons." I believe those words to be true more so today than when I wrote them, for it's in the common things that miracles happen. I believe somehow, some way, I was to be a messenger that day. I was to deliver a message of love by way of a birdhouse to a woman I've never met. A message from her departed mother on the anniversary of her death. And while the message, the gift of the birdhouse may seem miraculous, it is the entirety of the experience. It's everything that had to go just right, just perfect, to wrap everything up and deliver a gift. That was a miracle. Enough of this story. I wrote the damn thing and I can't get through without crying. All right, Mom and Dad, I'll mail you a copy.